We'll get started in about 2 minutes, if that's cool. Come on, baby. You're killing me. We're good. All right. Mike, we'll see you, man. Appreciate it. Okay, everybody ready to go?
Go ready.
Okay, sorry for the late start, folks. We are going to go ahead and call the September Planning Commission meeting to order. We will start with our normal housekeeping item of taking the roll. Chairman Jackamore, would you care to do that for us?
Okay, Wendell Miller,
Here.
Don Jackamore here, Justin Cawthorn, absent, Cheryl Monfey, Shirley Hatley, Luke Duffield, John Choate, Larry Smith, Cody Black, and Eric Westcott. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. All right. Okay. All right. We'll start off with the minutes from our last meeting. Anybody have any questions or any? Or what's your pleasure? Okay. We have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. We have a second. All those in favor, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay. All right, let's, your agenda. Where's it? Where'd mine go? Okay, thank you, sir. All righty, we have a special use permit, request for a special use permit to allow the operation of a contractor office with contractor storage yard located at 3704 East Main, submitted by Expert Industrial Contractors Incorporated on behalf of the Refuge. Sarah, you got a staff report on that?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you. So, like you said, this is a special use permit for a contractor storage yard at 3704 East Main Street. Existing conditions that this is a partially developed property along East Main Street in a highway commercial zone. The front portion of the property has been used as a construction office most recently, with an office building and paved 10-space parking lot. The side and rear portion of the property are a gravel lot that has been used unofficially as storage off and on for several years. Adjacent uses include the Refuge Church, a mobile home park, Cogswell Towing, and Beacon Tire just east of the property, and a residential subdivision to the south. A lot of review comments here. Sorry that it is small. So although strict requirement, I'm going to start over. Although strict compliance with the regulations has not been met, but given that this is an existing building, special consideration should be given to provide reasonable protective measures regarding those residential areas. This is a very well-kept commercial structure that remains in visual harmony with surrounding buildings. The residential structure to the west are mobile homes, and although this is not a mobile home, it does appear modular in design and would be considered in harmony with those adjacent mobile home park as well. The contractor storage yard being proposed would remain gravel. In an attempt to come into compliance with the screening regulations, the applicant is proposing a landscape buffer screen adjacent to the right-of-way, consisting of pampas grass or sunshine ligustrum to reduce the visual appearance of the gravel storage yard. Article 4.3 requires a privacy fence whenever a commercial or industrial zone or use abuts a residential zone or use. This property has a history of use as a construction office and informally as a storage site for other purposes. Ensuring compliance with zoning regulations, particularly in buffering the adjacent residential mobile home park to the west, aligns with the code requirements. However, the applicant is not proposing significant updates to the property, aside from adding a metal shipping container behind the office at the rear. Initially planned along the rear property line of what they've leased. In conversation, they switched the orientation of that storage container to act more as a buffer screen towards that residential mobile home park. And so given the property's existing use and the proposed changes between that and their contractor storage yard, it would be recommended that a buffer of 15 feet from the property line to help mitigate the impact on that mobile home park. If the setback is not implemented, a 6-foot tall fence wall or berm should be required to help offset and mitigate that. So it is the recommendation to approve the special use permit to allow operation of a contractor office with storage yard with the following conditions. Plant landscaping is proposed along East Main Street abutting the gravel storage yard. Ensure the shipping container storage building is located a minimum of 15 feet from the west property line. No construction equipment to be located closer than 15 feet to the west property line, and then provide parking calculations prior to business permit being issued to confirm sufficient parking available. As a result of the findings that the applicant demonstrates compliance with the regulations within Article 2.10, 3 and 5 of the Russellville zoning code, and then the applicant demonstrates a clear intent to comply with Articles 4 and 6 of the Russellville zoning code. And this is a use that could be in line with adjacent uses within the district. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sarah. Is anybody here that has anything to add from the refuge? We don't have anybody signed up to speak, but, okay. All right. Commissioners, what's your pleasure? Although I think it would be easier to put the drive-in screen back up there, I mean, like it was 40 years ago, I mean, instead of having gravel, but anyway, go ahead, guys. Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. The request, Commissioner Black second, and all those in favor, acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Showing my age, I guess, talking about a drive-in out there. All right. Item number 2, large-scale development to allow construction of a new retail development located at 1401 East Main, submitted by Davidson Engineering on behalf of Sonar Holdings LLC. Sarah, you got a staff report on that one?
Yes, sir. So this is a large-scale development for a new retail development on East Main Street. This is the newest site plan. RDOT did make them adjust the driveway locations, so as a result, they submitted a new site plan, still showing consistent with the comments made in the staff report. Existing conditions, that this is an 11.27 acre vacant parcel along East Main Street between Knoxville Avenue and North Sydney Avenue. This is the location of the old driving range and where a service station operated along the street frontage. In the area, you find a mixture of commercial development from service stations to restaurants and retail establishments. Adjacent to this property is Venezia's, Farmer Dan's Vegetable Stand, and Mr. Break and Lube. Other businesses within the area include Check H, Brangus, Burger King, Morella's Mexican Grill, Relax, and Budget Inns, Walgreens, Heinzman Tire, Super Fast Lube, and a barber shop. This proposal is to allow construction of a new 55,000 square foot retail development. I'm going to go through the comments where there are some additional things that they will just need to confirm with site plan review. We've already been in conversation with the applicant regarding these. So regarding the parking regulations, the parking lot design requirements appear to be met with the review, indicating that there are 6 ADA spaces. Federal ADA requirements indicate that there would be 7. They did send over a plan today showing 7. 2 of those 7 need to be van accessible. Regarding commercial building design, these are the items that will need to be confirmed as part of the site plan review. The wall articulation, it appears that the sides and rear of the building may not comply, and the architect is working on revisions or alterations, and they will provide potentially a variance request or corrections with the building permit application. The roof articulation, roof lines and parapet should be varied. The architect is reviewing this requirement and was going to provide a complete set with the building permit to show compliance. Oh,
You've been battling that one all night.
I might have hit the wrong button. Utility mechanical screening required. Mechanical equipment is programmed to be located on the roof. An architect has confirmed that it will be located behind the parapet walls and not visible from the right-of-way. It does appear that it is met, but we'll confirm it with site plan review. The computer is restarting, and I don't have the rest of my presentation.
You want mine?
So sorry about that. So I will just, again, be going through the requirements that they have to confirm with site plan review. The dumpster enclosure does require masonry enclosure with access gate of durable opaque material. They are working on revising that to show compliance, and that will, again, be confirmed with site plan review. The other item that we did note is that the perimeter buffer, they do show landscaping in compliance, and I had an image to show that landscaping appears mostly in compliance. It's the perimeter buffer that was unclear on their landscaping plan. There's supposed to be a 5-foot wide landscape strip required along the side and rear lot lines. I do believe that the plan is to retain some of the vegetation on the site, and that could be used to offset the requirement, but we'll have to confirm that with site plan review. And then Public Works engineering comments requires approved stormwater management plan and grading and drainage permit with construction level drawings before final approval. And then Public Works Floodplain Management does have a note that as drawn, it appears that this will encroach on the floodway on the northwest corner, which may not take place. So in this case, consider a slight variation to avoid the floodplain or the floodway, and they are aware of that, and they were making some alterations to stay out of the floodway. So as a result of that, and I can't necessarily show you the images of the elevations, but it does appear that they are in compliance regarding commercial building design materials. So it is the recommendation to approve the large-scale development to allow construction of a new retail development with the following conditions. Provide details as noted below as being required to confirm compliance for site plan review. Submit civil site plan showing compliance with the regulations regarding drainage, and adjust the site plan to avoid encroaching into the floodway at the northwest corner of the project. As a result of the findings below, that the applicant has expressed their commitment to adhere to the zoning regulations, and the applicant demonstrates compliance with the regulations within Section 7 of the Land Subdivision Development Code. Do you all have any questions for me?
All right, thank you, Sarah. Is anybody here from Davidson or Sonar Holdings or whatever they'd like to speak? If you would step up to the mic and state your name for the record, please.
I'm Jason Boutnick with Davidson Engineering,
I'm Jeffrey Nichols, Davidson Engineering.
and we're here to answer any questions. And I've also got a full set of plans for y'all if y'all want.
Thank you.
These plans do show the updated 7 parking spots for ADA, and we'll work to get the van accessible 2 spots.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicants tonight?
I'm good.
What is your pleasure, gentlemen, ladies?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the request as presented. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. If there's no other business, we are adjourned.